Maria earns $62,000 a year. That's roughly $4,300 take home every single month. She is not poor. She is not irresponsible. She does not own a boat. She does not take expensive vacations. And yet, every single month, somewhere around the 22nd, she opens her bank app and feels that familiar tightening in her chest. The money is almost gone. Again. And she cannot explain where it went. Not because she wasn't paying attention, but because nobody ever showed her what was actually happening to her paycheck, or how to stop it. Maria's situation is not unusual. It is the norm. According to PIMT's intelligence, 67% of Americans were living paycheck to paycheck in 2025, up from 63% in 2024. Think about that number. 2 out of every 3 people around you, people with jobs, cars, phones, and Netflix subscriptions, living with zero financial cushion between this month and a crisis. And here's the part that makes it worse. For the 3rd consecutive year, spending growth has outpaced income growth for middle-income households, according to the Federal Reserve's 2024 SHED report. And the gap is not closing. So, earning more is not automatically solving the problem. The leak is structural. And a structural leak requires a structural fix. Not motivation, not budgeting apps you'll abandon in week 2, and not another reminder to stop buying coffee. This video is about 5 specific systems. Each one targets a different reason money disappears. Together, they make overspending structurally impossible, not just emotionally harder. But first, you need to understand the real enemy, because most people are fighting the wrong battle. The real reason money disappears. When people overspend, they blame themselves. Lack of discipline, weak willpower, poor priorities. And while personal responsibility matters, it is the least interesting explanation for a problem affecting 67% of the population simultaneously. Nobel Prize-winning economist Richard Thaler, awarded the Nobel Prize in Economics in 2017 for his work in behavioral economics, spent decades proving that humans make systematically irrational financial decisions, not because they are careless, but because the environment shapes behavior. And the environment most middle-class people operate in financially is specifically designed to extract money from them as efficiently as possible. One-click checkout, tap to pay, auto-renewing subscriptions. Buy now, pay later. Every friction point between you and a transaction has been systematically removed by the companies billing you. The 5 largest household expense categories in 2024 were housing, 33%, transportation, 17%, food, 13%, insurance, and pensions, 12.5%, healthcare, nearly 8%. Together, those 5 categories alone account for 83% of total household spending. That means the average middle-class family has roughly 17 cents of every dollar left for everything else. Savings, investments, emergencies, and any quality of life beyond survival. When the system has that little margin to begin with, even small structural leaks become catastrophic over time. Here are the 5 systems that seal those leaks permanently. System 1, the allocation architecture. Most people treat their bank account like a parking lot. Everything parks in the same space, and nothing has an assigned spot. Richard Thaler's research on mental accounting proved that when all money sits in one pool, the brain treats the entire visible balance as available money, even when most of it is already committed to bills. You see $3,800 and feel like you have $3,800. You do not. You have maybe $600, but your brain never ran that subtraction automatically. The allocation architecture fixes this at the structural level. On payday, your income gets divided immediately into 3 separate accounts before you ever interact with it. Account 1, fixed obligations, rent, utilities, insurance, loan payments, subscriptions, everything predictable and non-negotiable. Account 2, variable living groceries, fuel, dining, personal care, the day-to-day spending with natural flexibility. Account 3, future wealth savings, emergency fund, investments. And this one moves first, before the other two. It is treated as non-negotiable as rent. When the fixed obligations account handles your bills, and the future wealth account receives money automatically on payday. Your variable living account becomes the only number your brain interacts with daily, and a smaller, accurate number produces fundamentally different spending decisions than an inflated one. System 2, the friction layer. The envelope system, popularized by financial educator Dave Ramsey, works for one specific reason. It adds friction. Feeling the cost as you hand over cash or watching a category balance drop towards zero interrupts automatic spending and consistently reduces overspending. The modern version doesn't require physical cash. Within your variable living account, assign a fixed monthly limit to every leaky category. Dining out, $180, entertainment, $80, clothing, $60, impulse purchases, $50. Each category has a hard ceiling. When it hits zero, that category is closed for the month. No transfers, no exceptions. The psychological mechanism is not restriction. It is clarity. People don't overspend because they want to. They overspend because they genuinely don't know how close to the edge they are until they've already crossed it. The friction layer makes the edge visible in real time. System 3, the 72-hour containment rule. Here's a spending pattern that exists in almost every middle-class household. A desire appears, triggered by an ad, a recommendation, a sale notification. The desire feels urgent. The purchase happens within minutes. 2 weeks later, the item is forgotten, unused, or returned, but the money is gone. The 72-hour containment rule is simple. Any non-essential purchase above $40 goes on a list. Not into a cart, not into a saved item, a list. Write down what it is, what it costs, why you want it. Then wait 72 hours. At the end of 72 hours, revisit the list. For purchases above $150, wait 1 week. For purchases above $500, wait 2 weeks. The vast majority of items never get purchased after the waiting period. Why? Because the urgency was never real. It was manufactured, and 72 hours is often all it takes for the emotional trigger to dissolve. System 4. The Subscription Audit. Middle-class households are being squeezed not by luxuries, but by basics: housing, insurance, food, healthcare. But beneath those categories, another squeeze operates invisibly: subscriptions. Each one is small. Together, they're significant. The subscription audit works like this. Pull up the last 3 months of bank and credit card statements. Highlight every recurring charge. List them on one page. Include monthly cost, last date used. Then apply one filter. If you did not use the service at least 3 times in the last 30 days, cancel it today. Not pause, cancel. Run this audit every quarter. Because subscriptions accumulate silently, free trials become paid plans, prices rise in emails nobody reads, and the audit keeps the invisible leak sealed. System 5. The Spending Identity Shift. The first 4 systems are mechanical. This one is psychological, and it may be the most important of all. Because every system eventually reaches a moment where a human decision must be made. And that decision is shaped by something deeper than rules. It is shaped by identity. Morgan Housel, author of The Psychology of Money, argues that the most powerful financial change is not behavioral. It is identity-based. People who consistently build wealth across every income level share one common characteristic. They think of themselves as investors first and consumers second. The spending identity shift is a single question asked before every non-essential purchase above $40. Not, can I afford this? Because the answer is usually yes. Instead ask, is this a better use of this money than owning it for the next 20 years? At a 10% annual return, $100 becomes $672 in 20 years. $500 becomes $3,364. Suddenly, the decision feels different. The question is not whether you deserve the purchase. The question is, which version of yourself are you choosing to fund? The one spending today or the one living freely at 60? This reframe doesn't make every purchase feel wrong. It makes every purchase feel chosen. And chosen spending creates far less regret than automatic spending. Back to Maria. She earns $62,000 a year. She is not failing. She is operating in a system designed to extract every dollar she doesn't deliberately protect. The allocation architecture means her savings move before she can spend them. The friction layer means her spending categories have visible walls. The 72-hour containment rule means impulse purchases die on a list instead of living on a credit card statement. The subscription audit means she knows exactly what is billing her and why. And the spending identity shift means every dollar she spends is a choice, not an accident. The average American household saves less than 5 cents of every dollar earned, not because people don't want to save, but because no system exists to protect those 5 cents before spending reaches them. These 5 systems are that protection. They do not require a perfect month. They do not require superhuman discipline. They require 1 afternoon to build and 20 minutes a month to maintain. The 22nd of next month will come. The question is, will your bank account tell the same story or a different one?